everyone. So today's video is going to be one that's been super requested, and I got really inspired last night as I was watching the season premiere of Kim and Kourtney Take New York. So today's tutorial is really simple. I can't stress how simple it is. It's seriously something that anybody could do. I wanted to show you guys that it's really easy to get a look like this without using a ton of eyeshadow. So I actually only use 2 different eyeshadows, a lot of liner and mascara, and just really bronzed up the skin. Now I mentioned at the end of the video that I have a ton of bronzer on, but you can't really see it because my camera and all the lights around me are really washing it out. But I really tried to pack on the bronzer because I feel like it's a really important part of the whole Kardashian look. So really dewy, fresh, bronze skin, very arched brows, out there lashes. I kept the eyeshadow pretty neutral because I noticed that the Kardashians, they don't really go out there with the colors, but it's a very simple look. It's very easy to recreate. This could be an everyday look for you. It can be a look for parties if you wanted to stay on the more natural, neutral side, but it's really simple, and I wanted to show you guys that you could recreate this look in under 10 minutes. So I don't want to keep this intro really long. I'm going to jump into how I did the eyebrows and the eyeshadow, and then at the end I'm going to show you guys how I finished off the skin. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so before I started filming, I put a little bit of white eyeliner right in my waterline and just a little bit of a primer on my lid so that my eyeshadow can last all day. So what I'm actually going to start off with first is the eyebrows, and if you notice, all of the Kardashians have these amazing eyebrows, and they're really thick, they're really dark, dramatic, gorgeous eyebrows. So what I'm going to be using is the Milani Brow Kit, and it looks like this, and I'm just going to be mixing those 2 darker colors. So I'm going to dip my brush into each, and I'm just using an angled liner brush actually for my eyebrows, and what I'm going to do is just really softly just apply a couple of strokes on my eyebrows. First I'm going to focus right in the middle of the brow just to kind of make the color a little bit more dense because my eyebrows are a little bit more sparse than theirs are. So I'm going to build that up in strokes, and then it's really important right at the beginning of your eyebrow, you want to make sure that there's a straight line right at the bottom of your eyebrow to really define the bottom. And then I'm going to build that up. And if you notice, I'm not really dipping my brush anymore into the powder, especially for the front of the eyebrow, because you want that to look pretty natural. And if there's too much powder, it's going to look really fake. So I'm going to dip it once more into each color just for the arch. And all of the Kardashians have this beautiful arch that's pretty high. So I'm actually going to draw mine on a little bit higher than it naturally is. Just using short strokes again. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring it down. Just want to thicken the tail of my eyebrow a little bit more as well. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that. And I'm just going to be using a brow setting gel by e.l.f. You could basically use a clear mascara or anything that you want. I'm just going to brush this right onto my brows just to make sure that everything stays in place. Okay, so next we're going to be moving on to the eyeshadows, and I'm using this palette from Coastal Scents. It's a 28 neutral palette. And I'm going to be starting off with this color right here, which is a pretty skin tone color. It's pretty neutral. And I'm going to apply that right onto my lid. So again, as always, when you apply eyeshadow on the lid, try to tap it on instead of sweeping it on, because this is going to make sure it really holds on to that primer that you put underneath it and make sure that it lasts all day long. And next I'm going to be taking this chocolatey shade right here, and I'm going to put that right above my crease. Okay, I'm also going to bring that down in a V shape. You don't want to get any more product on your brush, you just want to start to blend this out. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that. So lastly, I'm taking that same skin tone shade that we put on the lid and I'm placing that right under the eyebrow to really finish off the look. And on the bottom lash line, I'm using that same chocolate shade that we put in the crease and I'm putting that right underneath my lash line. Okay, so I'm about to go put on a ton of black mascara and some liner and I'll be back to show you how I finish the look. Okay, so these are what the finished eyes should look like. They're pretty neutral looking. Could have packed in a darker black color or a dark brown right in the middle of these two colors, but this is more natural for every day. Their makeup is pretty heavy, but I don't think that a lot of girls would wear that makeup on an everyday basis, so I tried to make it a little bit more wearable. I will do a night version of this look where I will include more blacks and dark browns and kind of smoke it out a little bit more so that it'll be more wearable for the club. But for this tutorial, I wanted to keep it still pretty natural and pretty wearable. Okay, and I honestly feel that the skin part of this tutorial is really, really important. When I think of the Kardashians, I think of their flawless, glowing, beautiful, J-Lo type of glow skin. Now right now I have a ton of lights on me, so it is washing me out even though I packed on a bunch of bronzer. I really wanted to create that glow from within. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I used on my face since I know I'm going to get a couple of questions on the foundation and everything like that. So for my foundation I use the CoverGirl Aqua Smooth in buff beige, and I don't want to show this to you guys, it looks kind of gross right now, but that's what it looks like. I just used my Sigma flat top kabuki brush and I buffed this on my face. Now I chose to use this as a foundation because the coverage is very, very full and it's very, very flawless. So that's what I used on my face. I didn't have to use any type of concealer with it, just this all over my face, one thin layer. After that, of course, I applied concealer to my under eyes because Kim especially is very popular for being known to have that bright under eye look. So I used the most high coverage under eye concealer that I could think, and that's Hard Candy's Glamouflage. I'm in the color medium. So what I did is I just put a little bit of this on my brush and I packed it right underneath my under eyes to cover the under eye circle. Now back in the day I came out with a video where I showed you guys how to get that super, super light under eye concealer look like Kim K, and it's kind of like a 10-minute video. It's long, it's a lot of steps. I didn't do that today, but if you guys really want to see how to get the super, super light under eye concealer, I will link that video down below. But for today, all I did was put my Hard Candy Glamouflage right underneath my eyes. And then I set everything with my Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Powder. This is an airbrushing powder is what it's marketed as, but it's mineral based. And I just find that this powder gives me the most airbrushed, flawless, perfect looking finish. So that's what I used on my skin to set everything. And then I told you guys I really packed on the bronzer. Not that you can really see it right now. When I look at myself in the mirror right now, I'm super, super tan. But since I have so many lights on me right now, it's really washing me out. But the Kardashians all have that really pretty bronze glow. So what I used was this Mosaic Color Wheel by NYC. And then, of course, everybody knows that the Kardashians have that beautiful contoured cheekbone with that glowy highlight right on the top. So I used my Motives Shaped and Sculpt duo once again. And I used the darker side to act as a contour right under my cheekbones. And right on top I used this highlighter, which again I can't get enough of. I just love it so much because it's a matte highlighter, which is just amazing. That's what I used to kind of get that contour right underneath my cheekbone and then to highlight right above. Used Maybelline's Pink Please, it's number 25 from the Color Sensational line, and this is what it looks like. It's just a really pretty mid-tone shiny pink color. And that's the finished look. So I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. I had a lot of fun making this tutorial. Last night when I was watching the show, I was kind of planning what look I was going to take from it to recreate for you guys today. So this is what I came up with, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know a lot of you guys want a tutorial on this type of look for the curls. So I am thinking of coming out with that either at the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So look forward to that. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.